Before we get into our discussion for House of the Dragon, a warning that this video contains potential spoilers for Season 3 based on George R.R. Martin's book. Today on ScreenRant, we'll dive into the main plot theories surrounding the upcoming season of this thrilling Game of Thrones prequel. During a press conference in August, showrunner Ryan Condal confirmed that House of the Dragon will span 4 seasons, with the 3rd season set to begin filming in early 2025 with a possible release in 2026. The finale of House of the Dragon Season 2 has set the stage for an explosive opening scene in Season 3, one that many fans had wrongly anticipated as the climactic conclusion of the 2nd season. The alliance between House Lannister and the Triarchy could play a key role in breaking the Valerian blockade that has been crippling King's Landing and turning the common people against Rhaenyra's faction. This development would pave the way for one of Westeros' most infamous and dramatic clashes, the Battle of the Gullet, a legendary naval confrontation described in George R.R. Martin's Fire and Blood. The battle is poised to become a crucial test for Rhaenyra's newly aligned dragon riders, the Dragon Seeds Hugh Hammer, Ulf White, and Adam of Hull, thrusting them into the chaos of war for the first time. The battle ultimately ends in a victory for Rhaenyra's Black faction and a defeat for the Greens. However, it comes at a high cost. Jacaerys Valerian loses his life, leaving Rhaenyra one son fewer. If events unfold as expected, Daemon Targaryen, the youngest son of Alicent, will have a chance to shine. Known for his intelligence and tactical prowess, Daemon's involvement in the battle could set him apart from his older brothers. Riding his dragon Tessarion, Daemon is expected to make a dramatic entry into the war during this sequence. While his role in the Battle of the Gullet may not be significant, his character arc and military contributions could take on even greater prominence in Season 4. The Battle of the Gullet promises to be a visual spectacle, as well as a narrative turning point, raising the stakes of the Targaryen Civil War and showcasing the escalating tensions that define the Dance of the Dragons. This is one of the largest battles of the Dance of the Dragons in scale. The battle becomes particularly remarkable when 5 dragons from Dragonstone arrive, with 2 directly engaging in combat. This marks the first true test of the Dragon Seeds in battle. The opening of the 3rd season with this battle will undoubtedly be epic. However, the downside of delaying the Battle of the Gullet to Season 3, rather than concluding it in Season 2, is that it leaves fewer episodes to address the remaining conflicts. If there are only 2 seasons left, this means approximately 16 episodes to depict the 12 major battles described in the novel that have yet to be resolved in the show. This could make the pacing of Season 3 feel pretty rushed. Although Rhaenyra expected her new dragon riders to remain loyal to her, since she acknowledged their royal blood despite their status as illegitimate offspring, 2 of them will eventually betray her and defect to the Greens. In Hod Season 2, subtle hints suggest that Ulf White, known as Ulf the Sot in the books, might be difficult to deal with, showing his desires for wealth and power. His character's portrayal foreshadows the potential for greed and ambition to drive his actions. What is likely to happen after the Battle of the Gullet is that these dragon riders will be knighted as a reward for their contributions. This new title would grant them more power and influence, but it may also fuel their ambitions further, leading to desires for even greater titles, such as becoming lords. If Rhaenyra does not fulfill these aspirations, it's plausible that they might defect to the Greens, seeing an opportunity for advancement on the opposing side. This betrayal would have dramatic implications, especially considering Jacaerys' prior reservations about trusting the new dragon riders. Jacaerys was criticized by Rhaenyra for being exclusive and cautious, as he doubted the loyalty of these men who had not been raised as Targaryens. Yet in hindsight, his concerns might be validated. His mother's decision to recognize the Dragon Seeds as legitimate allies, despite their uncertain loyalty, could ultimately backfire and result in catastrophic losses for her side. The defection of these 2 dragon riders would mean the loss of their dragons as well, which would be an enormous blow to Rhaenyra's faction. Her strength in the Dance of the Dragons largely stems from her numerical superiority in dragonfire. Losing 2 dragons to the Greens would significantly tip the scales, intensifying the threat posed by King's Landing. From a narrative standpoint, this betrayal is also deeply symbolic. It underscores the internal divisions within Rhaenyra's camp and the perils of over-reliance on untested allies. While the new dragon riders brought initial hope and strength, their betrayal would demonstrate the cost of compromising loyalty for expediency. This might be key in Rhaenyra's character arc. Another highly anticipated event that could unfold in the 3rd season of House of the Dragon is the legendary Battle of the God's Eye. This iconic confrontation pits 2 of the most formidable and ambitious characters in the series against each other, Daemon Targaryen and Aemond Targaryen. Both characters share similar narratives and even names, each each driven by immense ambition, a desire to act independently of their respective leaders, and a huge thirst for power. Each believes himself destined for greatness, with aspirations that extend all the way to the Iron Throne. In Season 2, Helaena Targaryen ominously hinted at Aemond's fate during a cryptic moment with him. She remarked that his destiny was to be swallowed by the God's Eye and never be seen again. The God's Eye is a vast lake near Harrenhal, steeped in the mysticism and legends of Westeros. It is at this fateful location that Daemon and Aemond clash in a brutal aerial duel atop their dragons, Caraxes and Vhagar. The battle is as personal as it is symbolic, a culmination of their mutual animosity and the larger war consuming the Targaryen dynasty. According to the novel, both men meet their ends during this fight. Historical sources in Fire and Blood describe Aemond taking one of Daemon's eyes before both combatants and their dragons plunge into the waters of the God's Eye, disappearing forever. The prophecy delivered by Helaena appears to come true, with Aemond literally being swallowed by the lake. Daemon's ultimate fate, though, remains shrouded in mystery, as some theories suggest his body was never recovered, fueling speculation about whether he truly died in the battle. This duel is poised to become one of the most iconic moments in the show, marking the deaths of two key characters and delivering a spectacle of unparalleled scale. The sight of Caraxes and Vhagar, two of the largest and most fearsome dragons in existence, locked in mortal combat will likely be a highlight of the show. The consequences of this battle are monumental for both factions in the war. Aemond's death leaves King's Landing vulnerable, as he was one of the Green's most formidable warriors and their strongest dragon rider. Without him, Alicent's faction loses not only military might, but also a figure of fear and intimidation that kept their enemies at bay. On the other side, the loss of Daemon is equally catastrophic for Rhaenyra's Black faction. As one of her staunchest supporters and the commander of the Riverlands armies, Daemon's death significantly weakens Rhaenyra's position. His absence would create a leadership void and risks diminishing morale among her troops. The ripple effects of this battle extend beyond military strategy. The deaths of Daemon and Aemond remove two of the most unpredictable and dynamic players from the game, forcing both sides to reevaluate their strategies. The political chessboard of the Dance of the Dragons will shift dramatically, leaving viewers eager to see how the series adapts these pivotal moments. Alicent will also lose a son, which will create, as we have already seen, more resentment between her and Rhaenyra. It would then make sense for all these questions and conflicts to remain unresolved until the fourth and final season of House of the Dragon. The events to come, as outlined in the novel, promise to make the next season truly iconic, filled with more conflict, drama, blood, and more war. The question remains, can all these moments fit into the next season and the fourth one? How will the creators manage to depict all the battles within such limited screen time? All we can do is remain patient and eagerly await the return of the new season of House of the Dragon and trust that it will continue to surprise us with incredible new episodes. Thanks for watching Screen Rant. See you next time.